Well, for me, they're absolutely top of my agenda. In my campaign, I've been focusing on investing in young people as they are what I regard as the human goldmine for the future that's going to power growth. Your creativity, your energy, your insights and innovations is what's going to transform our economy and lead the future for this region. And so we have the highest proportion of students in this region, but we're not sort of seen as a Cambridge or an Oxford. In fact, our reputation isn't really where it needs to be as a region. So I want to put you as young people at the heart of my agenda. And as a result of that, I'm sort of offering free transport for young people 16 to 25. I'm offering bursaries for young people who are working with small and medium-sized businesses in the area, with manufacturing companies, or looking to start up their own, micro businesses, startups, because what we really need is to get a great deal more energy into the entrepreneurship and startups right across the region. And we need to stop the brain drain, because we've got too many young people studying here, at the many great universities and colleges across the region, and then just leaving when they've finished. And actually, there's a lot of research to show that the more you can keep graduates and people who finished their studies in a region, the greater your opportunities for success as a region are.
One of the things I would like to do to that end is to look at whether we can have a young person representative sitting on the board of the West Midlands Combined Authority. I think that board needs to be much wider and more inclusive than it currently is. And I think a young person there, as of right, would have a really useful contribution to make.
All right. My big thing about being mayor is UKIP calls itself the People's Army, or likes to think of itself as that. I would like to be the People's Mayor, which means that I want to engage on a really regular basis, every possible way that we can do it, whether that's internet or face-to-face in surgeries, engage with all different groups, universities, student groups, essentially make sure that everyone's got an opportunity to put their voice forward and I'll listen to it. So yeah, definitely want to engage with everyone from pensioners down to young people.
Yeah, this is quite important really, because already this West Midlands Combined Authority, WMCA, what a mouthful, because it rests on the full-time professional politicians in each of the boroughs, they've already created their own edifice, they've already got their own bureaucracy. For instance, as far as the issue of housing is concerned, well, you're better than I, generation rate you're called, aren't you? Young people can't get on the housing ladder, they can't get a home. So the question of availability of land is paramount for the mayor and the combined authority. What did they do? They already established a commission to look into how to get land and how to use it and what they would do with it. I'll tell you what it's going to be. It's a big building jamboree in which we're going to see gleaming palaces for offices and posh flats, but we're not going to see anything for ordinary people. Who they've got advising on this commission? Estate agents, financiers, bankers. Well, that's like inviting the thief into your parlour and saying, what would you like to take? What we should have are commissions, structures, involvement of ordinary people, citizens, organisations, people's parliaments, if you like, in which there is consultation. And I would establish a youth parliament in every borough with formal powers and formal involvement in the consultative process. And that youth parliament should represent all of young people in that area, in that given area, or wherever organisations exist, whether they're school or colleges or societal organisations. We need to have, I think, a more organic approach and a more considered one. But there is, I think, contempt for young people in modern politics. There is a sort of belief that young people have nothing to say. They're not grown up enough, they don't know enough. But that's not true. Everybody has a point of view. And some of the most stupid things have been said to me by rather elderly people in the course of this campaign. I have to say, the most intelligent questions, the most brilliant ones have been from young people.
I think that's a really good question. So the West Midlands board is currently run by a bunch of middle to older age white men plus one person from the black minority communities plus one woman. That's it. So young people's voices just aren't heard at all. But it's not just young people who have that problem. So small business owners, volunteer groups, faith groups, community groups. The Command Authority has a real problem and it doesn't look anything like the people it's supposed to represent. So Birmingham, for example, is I think the youngest city in Europe. So the fact that the youngest city in Europe has not one young person, not just those under 18, anyone under 40, I think probably, when I'm the youngest candidate in the race to be mayor by some way, I would imagine, as a councillor, I'm one of the few younger councillors there are at all anywhere, I think, particularly in Solihull. So we need to do far more, and I think the way we need to do that is through forming some sort of assembly like they have in London of people who hold the mayor and the authority to account. They're directly elected by the public, they're broadly representative of the public, and they make sure the authority and the mayor looks out for the needs of all the people in London in their case, or in the West Midlands in our case. So that's what I want to do, and I think absolutely it's right that we should have a person representing young people there. I mean, I'm a social worker myself, and I work mostly in child protection, and actually we tend to forget that children are people, young people are people by definition, and they have no voice, and actually all decisions are made without them, and that's completely wrong. So I would probably go further than just having young people represented on the board. I think we probably should look into having advocates too for groups who can't speak up for themselves. So, for example, people with severe learning disabilities, people with dementia, very young children. We need to make sure we do far more to open this up and make it more inclusive.